with this article. I'd read about this and heard about this, and just such a cool thing. Just reading this headline. It said, having faith. Kennesaw grad battling tumor is an inspiration to those around her. That's the headline, all right? And I'm going to jump straight to the point. If we had to write a headline about your life, what would it be? All right? Even if we had to write a headline about the first week and a half or 2 weeks of school, what would it be? All right? Because we live in kind of a headline-driven society. Man, you turn on your homepage or whatever. I know you Facebook and you're seeing what friends are saying and all that kind of stuff. But man, there's all kind of crazy headlines. But what about you? Have you done anything in your life? And don't shout it out, all right? Have you done, somebody tell me the biggest thing you've ever done in your life. What you would consider something that's a pretty big thing that you've done, all right? Anything. Somebody. I'll give you an example. All right, maybe you went on a mission trip. All right? All right, where'd you go? All right, cool. Where'd you go? Belize? Who'd you go there with? Oh, very cool. I've been to Belize several times on mission trips. Really cool people down there. All right. Jamaica? All right. What else? Something big. Maybe you scored a touchdown to win the game. All right, you did that? All right, what are we going to say? Junior Olympics. All right, that's pretty cool. That's definitely headline worthy. Just something big, man. Your big thing could be that you won the wiffle ball tournament in your neighborhood or something like that. I don't know what it is, but you can have that kind of a big thing right here. You don't have to have something like that. There's another one down there, and we could go through this whole newspaper article or newspaper and find a bunch of headlines. But I want to talk to you today about somebody who did something big, and he did a lot of stuff big, all right? And if we have more time, we'd kind of go into the whole, what have you done this big thing? Because I know all of you have done some big things, all right? And we're going to talk about some big things that you can do at the end, even if you're not written up in the newspaper about it or anything along those kind of lines. But I want to talk to you today about somebody that I guarantee you've all heard the story before if you've gone to church for over 2 months, all right? Even if you've never gone to church before, many people have heard this story. Most people say it's just a Bible story or whatever. I believe it's true. I believe it really happened. I mean, because I believe it's the Bible, and I believe the Bible is true and really happened. It's God's way of showing himself to us. But I want to talk to you today about David and Goliath, all right? David and Goliath, and you're going back to second grade in church, and you have these little characters and all that kind of stuff. But I want to talk about David and Goliath and how David did some pretty big things. Now, if you could do, all right, we just talked really quickly about what is something big that you've done. If you could do something big, what would it be? Does anybody have any ideas? What would your dream, if we were to go and eventually have it as a headline on the newspaper, what would your big thing be? What was something big that you could do? Wake up this morning, all right? Win the playoffs, all right. In what? Baseball? Basketball, all right. All right, that'd be a good one, all right. Somebody else, tell me something big that you'd do. If that would be written. What is your dream? Nobody? Y'all don't have anything? All right, yeah. Help the world with hunger. That would be awesome. That's great. Something big. All right, what else? I need one more. One more. Yes. Adopt kids who don't have families, so adopt orphans and stuff like that. That would be really, really cool. That would be something big. Now, here's the question. David did something big, and I want to talk to you today about 3 ways that we can prepare to do big things, all right? And now listen, wake up. No more yawning, all right? If your friend next to you is yawning, you have permission to do this, all right? You know what this is? It's a fish hook, all right? When they start yawning, you just go, all right, just do that, all right? So just be prepared, all right? Don't poke them in the eye because that's bad, all right? And don't bite. You might get your finger bit. But anyway, all right? All right? So anyway, if you want to do something big, how do you do that? All right, let's look and see what David did. Because, man, you guys, some of you are 6th graders. Man, you are brand new 6th graders. So exciting. You got my new friends Lacey and Autumn are over here. And they're loving 6th grade. They're loving life, man. And before long, they're going to be 7th graders, then high schoolers. And you know what we think about, though? Especially in student ministry and even especially in middle schoolers, where maybe you are at your church and you see the high school kids that are they're doing a lot of stuff and all this other kind of things. You're like, man, I wish I could do that. I want you to know that you can do big things right now for God, okay? Amen. I want you to know that and just let that sink in. Even here at FCA, I mean, this is one of my favorite FCAs to come to because y'all are just cool and y'all are awesome. You always have a big crowd and all that kind of stuff. So I love coming here. I love hanging out with you. But FCA can do big things at Tapp Middle School. All right, FCA through your churches can do even bigger things by sending you guys back. All right, so even at middle school you can do big things. All right, but there's some things we got to know. And I'm going to have to skip through a lot of this kind of stuff just because we don't have a lot of time. But y'all look at other people. Man, what's been, for basketball fans, all right, what's been the biggest headline of the past 6 months?
LeBron.
Where's LeBron going to play, right? Then when he decided where he's going to play, how he dissed Cleveland, and then he threw it in Cleveland's face when he went down to Miami like the next day and was dancing on stage and doing all that stuff, right? I mean, that was a big story, right? And you know what happened? What kind of got pushed into the background with all that? That Kobe got number 5, right? That Kobe won his 5th championship because everybody was just talking about where's LeBron going to go? What's he going to do? That kind of got pushed to the background. But you know what happens with us? There are people that will walk through the halls of this school today, and some of you will look at them. Maybe they're the star football player, the star basketball player, the most popular kid at the school, and you'll go, man, I wish I could be like them. And you'll do that, right? Or you'll go, man, I wish I had that girlfriend, or man, I wish I had that boyfriend. Man, they've got that. Man, their parents drive a nice car, they have the nice clothes. Man, I wish I could be them. Well, I want you to know something. According to David and Goliath, the Old Testament story, a lot of big people accomplish little. LeBron went to Miami, but Kobe won a championship, right? And Kobe's a pretty big player too, so I'm not going to discount that. But those headlines kind of got stolen. A lot of big people accomplish little. How do we know that? All right, look, in 1 Samuel 16, it says, for 40 days, or 17 verse 16, for 40 days the Philistine came forward every morning and evening and took his stand. All right, so dude, how big was Goliath?
Giant.
Big, right? He was 9 feet tall. And every day he came out, there were 2 sides. There was a side over here, and there was God's people, Israel, over there. All right? His chosen people, he was saying, all right, 40 days, Goliath would walk out, and he would just mock them openly. 40 days, he would just talk trash straight to him, say, hey, come on, here I am. Is there no one brave enough to fight me? I mean, this dude was 9 feet tall. 40 days. You know what it said? Morning and evening. 40 days he came out and just taunted them. Goliath was a big dude. Was he getting anything accomplished?
No.
No. He was just taunting them, all right? But you know what else? You know what else is sad? Don't you know there's some people on this side, there were some pretty big dudes too? They may not have been giants, but don't you know they had some people who were trained warriors and trained fighters that could have came out here and could have fought Goliath? Maybe if they'd have had faith that David had later on. Man, so both sides had a lot of people that were kind of going on to see what was happening. But man, what was accomplished? Nothing. 40 days, I mean, that's a month. That's a long time. That's over a month and a third almost. 40 times, 80 times he came out and taunted them, but nothing ever got accomplished, all right? Man, so who are the people in your eyes that are big? All right, maybe it's somebody at your church, maybe it's somebody in your subdivision, maybe it's somebody in your school, maybe it's somebody that's sitting right next to you, and you say, man, I wish I could be them, but what are they really accomplishing? And then listen, wake up. It's important for us to have something that we're going to accomplish, and not for ourselves, but for God, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. So remember, a lot of big people don't accomplish anything. Some of you that play football, you get down in front of that person, and then you know it's a one-on-one battle, right? That you got to beat them to go tackle the running back or to go sack the quarterback. Or you got to beat them on the outside to get to the end zone, right? Man, you know what? They can be bigger than you. But what can you do? As long as you use the right technique and you get past them, then you beat them. So remember, a lot of big people don't accomplish little. All right, but here's the next thing. A lot of little can lead to something big. All right, and this is important for you, okay? This is important. All right, verse 34. But David said to Saul, your servant has been keeping his father's sheep. When a lion or bear came and carried off a sheep from the flock, I went after it, struck it, rescued the sheep from its mouth. When it turned on me, I seized it by its hair, struck and killed it. All right? So, dude, David's like, okay, big, huge, giant dude's coming out here 80 times and he's mocking us. I want to go fight him. And they're like, no, you can't do that. And David goes, you know what? When I was just a shepherd boy, because I couldn't do anything else, nobody trusted me to do anything else, I was faithful to take care of those sheep. I was faithful. And listen, when a lion or a bear, dude, how many of y'all have chased down a lion or a bear lately? I mean, dude, I'm afraid of the squirrel that's at my bird feed in the backyard, all right? So I'm like staying away from that thing. But David said, man, when a lion or bear came after it, I chased it off, saved the lamb, and then when the lion or bear turned on me, he grabbed it by its fur, struck and killed it. I mean, dude is killing lions and lambs, and that's something little, but we have to be faithful or understand that a lot of little things can lead to something big, and that's what was true in David's life. How many of you have had busy work this year? How many of you had busy work, maybe a worksheet that you looked at and your teacher's like maybe 10 math questions or something like that, and you're like, why do I have to do this? It's just going to be worth